So it's like creating these new pathways in our brain that reinforce those positive beliefs and habits.
Exactly. And that's where science and the law of attraction start to overlap in this really fascinating way. It's like these ancient principles are now being explored and maybe even validated through modern science.
Align, create, and thrive together. Chasing dreams that feel so right. Keep your frequency high forever. Vibrations and manifestation.
Hey, Alicia, are you ready for this deep dive? We've got a ton of research here on the law of attraction and physical health.
Absolutely. Let's do it. It's wild to think that our thoughts and emotions could really impact our well-being.
It really is. We've got research on visualization, anecdotal accounts of people's health improving, and even some scientific studies. I think a lot of people think the law of attraction is just about getting material things, like a new car or the perfect job.
Right, but it goes so much deeper than that. It's that core idea, like attracts like, that can apply to everything in our lives, including how healthy we are.
So if we're always thinking these negative thoughts about our bodies, are we like attracting more negativity to ourselves?
Well, it's not quite as simple as saying that negative thoughts like cause illness. It's more complicated than that. But there is more and more research in this field of psychoneuroimmunology that suggests a strong link between how we feel mentally and our physical health.
Psychoneuroimmunology. Wow, that's a mouthful. What is that in a nutshell?
Basically, it's all about how our thoughts and feelings and beliefs interact with our nervous system and our immune system. It's like our bodies are always listening in on our internal dialogue.
Okay, so let's say I'm super stressed about work. How does that actually affect my body, like physically?
Well, when you're stressed, your body releases these hormones, like cortisol and adrenaline. And these hormones are there to help you deal with threats, short-term threats. But when stress just keeps going and going, it can really mess with your body. It can suppress your immune system, make inflammation worse, and even throw your hormones off balance. And those are just a few things.
So if you're stressed all the time, it can actually make you more likely to get sick.
Exactly. And it doesn't even have to be these huge life stressors either. Even those everyday worries and anxieties, they can all contribute to this chronic stress response.
That makes sense. It's like our bodies are always reacting to our thoughts and emotions.
Exactly. And that's where the law of attraction comes in. When we shift our mindset to a more positive place, we can possibly influence these things happening in our body in a good way.
So instead of thinking about all the things that are wrong with our bodies,
Hmm.
we should be thinking about what we want to create, a healthy, happy state of being.
Exactly. And things like visualization and positive affirmations, those can be really powerful ways to do just that. Like one of the studies we have here talks about how athletes use visualization to get better at what they do.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. They imagine themselves like making the perfect shot or winning the race, right?
Right. And the research shows that this kind of mental rehearsal can actually cause real physical changes in their brain and body, which makes them perform better.
So if it works for athletes, could it also work for someone recovering from an injury or an illness?
A lot of people think so, yeah. The idea is that if we visualize ourselves as healthy and whole, we're sending these strong signals to our bodies, encouraging them to heal and thrive.
In one of these anecdotal accounts, a woman named Linka talks about using the law of attraction to lose weight.
Yeah, I read that one. She talked about changing her whole mindset around food and her body. It wasn't about depriving herself or restricting things. It was about developing a good relationship with herself and making choices that were good for her.
Sounds like she really tapped into that like attracts like idea. She focused on health and well-being instead of all the negativity and what she felt she lacked.
Exactly. And she used visualization in her everyday life. So instead of focusing on cravings or feeling bad about her body, she imagined herself at her ideal weight, feeling healthy and confident.
That's interesting because she didn't just sit around thinking about losing weight. She took action, right? She changed her diet, exercised more, and made healthy choices.
That's really important. The law of attraction isn't about just wishing and hoping for things to magically happen. It's about aligning your thoughts and your beliefs and your actions with what you want to achieve.
So you're saying visualization and affirmations are great, but we also need to actually do the work to reach our goals.
Yeah, that's it. It's all about creating that connection between what's going on inside and what you're doing in the real world. And
Ah.
sometimes just visualizing what you want can give you the motivation and clarity to take those steps.
Speaking of visualization, we actually have a guided visualization script here that might be really helpful for our listeners. Do you want to
Hmm.
lead us through it?
Oh, absolutely. This is a great way to experience the power of visualization firsthand.
Oh, absolutely. This is a great way to experience the power of visualization firsthand.
Okay, great. So, everyone listening, get comfortable, close your eyes, and I'll guide you into this deep state of relaxation and healing. Imagine this warm golden light all around you, like a gentle healing hug. Feel its radiance all over your body.
Now breathe in, and as you breathe in, imagine this golden light entering through the top of your head. Let it fill your mind with this sense of peace and clarity, just total ease. Now as you breathe out, imagine any tension, any pain, any worry just melting away, like mist disappearing in the morning sun. Just let it all go with each breath. Feel that gentle expansion in your chest as you breathe in, and the softening of your belly as you breathe out.
Feel that warmth from the healing light moving down your neck and shoulders, releasing any tightness or discomfort. It flows down your arms all the way to your fingertips, filling them with this new sense of energy and strength.
Let that warmth spread into your chest.
Yeah.
Feel it nourishing your heart, your lungs, every organ with revitalizing energy. Each heartbeat, a rhythm of harmony, resilience, vitality.
Now feel that golden light travel down your spine, soothing every nerve, relaxing every muscle, dissolving any resistance. It flows into your abdomen, bringing balance and ease and just deep nourishment.
And finally, let that light flow down through your hips, your legs, all the way down to your feet, grounding you with strength and stability. You are bathed in this healing golden light now, every cell in your body vibrating with wellness.
Now, in this peaceful state, picture yourself standing in front of this crystal clear river. The water is pure and sparkling, flowing gently. This river, it represents that natural flow of health and vitality within you.
Step into that water. Feel it surround you. It's cool and refreshing, washing over you, taking away any pain, discomfort, or anything holding you back.
As the water flows around you, it carries away anything that doesn't serve you anymore, any negativity, doubt, or fear. Just watch it all dissolve and disappear, effortlessly carried downstream. Feel yourself getting lighter, freer, more energized.
Now feel the river filling you with fresh, pure vitality. Every drop of water is infused with this radiant well-being. Imagine it filling you with strength, energy, and this profound sense of inner peace. You feel lighter, more vibrant, totally in tune with your natural state of perfect health.
Just stay in this feeling for as long as you want. Enjoy that renewed sense of energy. And as you do, let yourself see your future self, a you who is healthy, strong, and full of life.
See yourself moving with ease and confidence. Imagine yourself making choices that nourish and support your body without even thinking about it, whether it's enjoying healthy foods or doing activities you love, or even just getting a good night's sleep. You're effortlessly drawn to choices that make you feel good.
You trust your body. You love your body. You celebrate your body. You are in harmony with your physical self.
Now put your hands over your heart and repeat these affirmations, either silently or out loud. I allow wellness to flow freely through me.
My body is strong, resilient, and vibrant.
I release all resistance and embrace vitality.
I take inspired action toward my health with ease and joy.
Now, gently bring your awareness back to the present moment. Feel the surface beneath you, the sounds around you. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, open your eyes.
Take a moment to appreciate that sense of peace and rejuvenation you feel. You carry this energy with you, allowing health and wellness to flow into everything you do.
That was incredible. I feel so relaxed and centered.
It's amazing how powerful just a few minutes of visualization can be. And this is just one of the many ways we can start applying the law of attraction to our physical health. But before we get into all of that, let's look at some of these real-life stories.
So we've talked about visualization and positive affirmations, but this research also has some really interesting stories about people who say they've improved their health using the law of attraction.
Yeah, and it's important to remember, while these stories are inspiring, they're just personal experiences, not scientific proof.
Right, we can't just assume everyone is going to have the same results.
Exactly. But they do give us some good insights into how people are using these ideas in their own lives. For instance, there's that story about the woman who ate all the bread she wanted on a cruise but didn't gain any weight.
That's the one that I was like, whoa, how is that even possible? Was it like gluten-free bread or something?
It doesn't seem like it. The article really focuses on her mindset. She saw food as a friend, something to enjoy, not something to fear.
Interesting. So she didn't restrict herself or feel guilty about indulging, and somehow that affected how her body responded to the food.
That's what the story suggests, yeah. It really highlights that potential connection between what we believe and what happens physically in our bodies. It's like her good relationship with food, not feeling guilty or stressed about eating, somehow contributed to her well-being.
That's pretty mind-blowing. It makes you wonder how much our mindset really determines our health.
It's a question that people have been asking for ages. And while the law of attraction itself isn't like a scientifically proven thing, there are some interesting connections to concepts like the placebo effect and neuroplasticity.
Okay, can you explain those a little? So the placebo effect, that's basically when people feel better just because they think they're getting treatment, right? Even if it's just a sugar pill.
Exactly. And it really shows us how powerful the mind can be in influencing the body. If believing in a treatment can actually cause real changes in our bodies, it makes you wonder what else is possible.
And neuroplasticity, what about that? I remember reading something about how our brains can change and rewire themselves.
That's exactly what neuroplasticity is. It means our brains aren't fixed. They're constantly changing based on our experiences and our thoughts. So if we're always thinking positive thoughts, visualizing, and doing things that are good for us, we might actually be rewiring our brains in a way that makes us healthier.
So it's like creating these new pathways in our brain that reinforce those positive beliefs and habits.
Exactly. And that's where science and the law of attraction start to overlap in this really fascinating way. It's like these ancient principles are now being explored and maybe even validated through modern science.
So while the law of attraction might not be completely understood by science yet, there's evidence that our thoughts and beliefs can really impact our physical health.
Yes, and it's super important to say that we're not saying to ignore conventional medicine or that positive thinking alone can cure diseases. It's about exploring a different approach, understanding how our minds and bodies work together, and using the power of our thoughts to feel better overall.
So it's not about replacing what our doctor tells us, but adding another layer to our health journey.
Exactly. It's about taking a holistic approach, recognizing that our mental and emotional states play a huge role in our physical health.
Okay, that makes sense. But for someone listening who's thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually do this in my life? Where do they even start?
That's a great question. There are a bunch of practical things you can do every day. One simple but powerful technique is to just notice your negative self-talk and consciously reframe those thoughts.
Can you give an example of what that would look like?
Sure, so instead of saying, I'm so out of shape, try saying, I'm committed to taking care of my body and getting stronger. Or instead of, I'm always getting sick, try, I'm building a strong immune system and focusing on my health. It's about changing your language and your perspective from focusing on what you lack to what you have.
So it's about catching those negative thoughts and choosing to replace them with thoughts that empower us.
Yes. And another great practice is gratitude. Taking a few minutes every day to appreciate the good things in your life, even the small things, can make a big difference.
I've heard of gratitude journals where you write down a few things you're grateful for each day. Is that a good way to do it?
Absolutely. It helps you focus on what's going well instead of what's wrong. And research even shows that feeling grateful can actually have good effects on your body, like reducing stress hormones and improving sleep.
So reframing negative thoughts and practicing gratitude are two good things to try. Are there other practical tips we should add to our toolkit?
Of course. Another easy one that we often forget is to smile more. Even if you don't feel like it, smiling can actually trigger the release of endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that can reduce stress and improve your mood.
So faking it till you make it actually works.
Sometimes, yeah. And it's not just about tricking yourself into feeling better. Smiling can also have real benefits for your body, like lowering blood pressure and boosting your immune system.
Wow, that's amazing. What about mindfulness and meditation? Those seem to be getting more and more popular these days.
Yeah, and for good reason. Mindfulness is all about being aware of the present moment, paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and what's going on in your body without judging yourself. Meditation takes it a step further and helps you quiet your mind and find this deep sense of inner peace. Both practices have been shown to have tons of benefits for both our mental and physical health, like reducing stress, helping us sleep better, and boosting our immune system.
So if we make mindfulness and meditation part of our routine, it could be another way to support our well-being and align ourselves with the law of attraction.
Exactly. It's about creating space for quiet and developing a more positive and peaceful inner world. And when we do that, we naturally start to attract more positive experiences into our lives, including those related to our health.
You mentioned earlier how important it is to take action. It seems like all these practices, visualization, affirmations, gratitude, smiling, mindfulness, meditation, they're all about creating a more positive state of mind. But then we need to take those positive vibes and actually do something with them, right?
Absolutely. It's like planting a seed. You can visualize the beautiful flower it's going to become, encourage it with positive words, and nourish it with gratitude, but you also have to give it sunlight and good soil for it to actually grow.
So what are some practical actions we can take that align with a healthier, more vibrant version of ourselves?
Well, it starts with taking a look at your current habits and seeing where you can make positive changes. Are you eating healthy foods? Are you moving your body in ways you enjoy? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you managing stress well?
So it's about looking at all the different parts of our lives: diet, exercise, sleep, stress management, and making choices that are good for us.
Exactly. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. It's about taking small steps every day that get you closer to where you want to be.
And it sounds like it's also about being kind to ourselves
Yeah.
and celebrating those little wins along the way.
Absolutely. Self-compassion is so important. When we're kind to ourselves, we create a much more supportive environment inside that helps us thrive.
You know, it's interesting to think about how much of our health is affected by things other than just our genes or access to healthcare. Our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions play a huge part.
Totally. And that's what makes the law of attraction so powerful. It gives us the ability to actively shape our reality, including our physical health.
So it's not just about wishing for good health. It's about actually creating it through what we think, believe, and do.
Yes. And it's a journey, not a destination. There will be good times and bad times, successes and failures. But the important thing is to keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving to be the healthiest, happiest you.
I love that. It's not about perfection, it's about progress.
Mm.
And it's about remembering that we have the power to create a life filled with vitality and well-being.
Well said. And as we wrap up this deep dive into physical health and the law of attraction, I want to leave our listeners with one last thought to ponder. If your body is a reflection of your most common thoughts and beliefs, what message are you sending it right now?
It's like a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
We can use our thoughts and beliefs to help us be healthy, but we could also accidentally bring in negativity.
Yeah, it's true. And it's something people debate a lot. Some think focusing too much on getting sick can make it happen, but others think knowing about health risks is important for preventing them.
So how do we find that balance? How do we stay informed about potential health risks without getting scared and negative?
I think it's about finding that middle ground. It's about staying informed, but not getting stuck on the worst case scenario. It's more about focusing on what you want to create, not what you're afraid of.
So, like if I'm reading about a certain health condition, I should try to understand the risks and how to prevent it instead of freaking out and getting anxious.
Exactly. It's about empowering yourself with information and then using that information to make good choices.
That makes sense. It's about shifting from fear to feeling in control, from worrying to taking action.
Exactly. And it's also about trusting your gut. If something feels wrong in your body, don't ignore it, go get it checked out, but don't let fear run your life.
So it's about listening to our bodies, taking action when we need to, and trusting that we have the wisdom and strength to handle whatever comes our way.
That's it. It's about looking at health and wellness in a balanced way, recognizing the power of our minds and the importance of taking care of our bodies.
This whole conversation has been so insightful. It's like we've gotten a peek behind the curtain of how our well-being works.
And it's not about figuring out some complicated formula or following a bunch of strict rules. It's about understanding the law of attraction and finding ways to make it work for you in a way that feels right and empowers you.
So it's about trying things out, seeing what works, and trusting our own intuition.
Absolutely. And remember, it's a journey. There will be ups and downs, times when you succeed and times when you don't. But the important thing is to keep learning, keep growing, and keep working towards being the healthiest, happiest you.
I love that. It's not about being perfect. It's about progress. And it's about remembering that we have the power to create a life full of vitality and well-being.
That's a great way to put it. As we wrap up this deep dive into the connection between physical health and the law of attraction, I want to leave everyone with one last question to think about. If our bodies really reflect our most common thoughts and beliefs, what message are we sending them right now?
That's a really powerful question. And we hope this deep dive has given you some good insights and tools to start using the power of your mind to improve your well-being. Thanks for joining us today on Vibrations and Manifestations.
Until next time, stay curious, stay positive, and keep those vibrations high.